Shane Hale was a man with a dream. He wanted to sail to the Caribbean, so he sold everything he owned and bought a sailboat, and he and his dog Harley set out on their great adventure. But about a week ago, he got caught up in a fierce storm about 3 miles off Venice Beach. And what happened next, Shane says, is a miracle. And Shane, Hale, and Harley, your dog, we welcome you. Hi, Harley, we're so glad you came. So tell us the rest of the story, Shane.
Well,
we've got you and Harley in a boat, a horrible storm off Venice Beach. What happened next?
Well, the storm was approaching. I took a Facebook video showing that the storm was approaching and that I was getting prepared for the storm. I locked him in his tether and put on his safety belt. I put my own tether, my own safety harness on, and my beacon, and ended my video with "I'm going for it." I didn't think it was gonna be that bad of a storm. I mean, it's Florida; we have storms all the time, so I wasn't that concerned about it. And at that point, decided I was gonna pull down my main sails and motor through it. And as I was going to pull down the main sail, the boom line broke, and my main sail boom broke and dropped. Which, of course, at that point in time, it knocked me over, so I had to recover from that. And when I recovered from that, by then the storm had gotten there a lot faster than I had thought. I grabbed Harley, I threw him inside the cabin of the sailboat, but I didn't shut the door. I just stuck him in there and said, "Stay in there." I went back up top to pull my sails down, and in the process of pulling my sails down, the storm hit, and I couldn't physically even pull my own sails down. And the storm grabbed me and threw me off the boat in the water a half a dozen times over the next few minutes, and it would throw me back on the boat, and it would throw me back in the water, and throw me back on the boat. I kept trying to get a hold of something, and I finally got a hold of something, and about that time, Harley decided that he was scared to death inside, probably, and made his way to the top of the boat where I was at up front, and I turned around and yelled at him to get back in the boat, and as soon as he turned around, the wave come over the top of the boat and took him off the side of the boat. It took him off the side of the boat, the same side that my boom had broken on, so I wasn't able to go that way where he went off the boat. I had to go all the way around my boat to the other side of the boom to try to get to him. My boat was doing 360 spins in the ocean at this point in time, because the only sail I still had up was my jib, and the wind caught it. And when you got just that sail up and no mainsail, it just does this. So I fought my way around, and when I got to his tether, started pulling his tether, I knew when I was pulling his tether that there wasn't enough weight on his tether for him to be on the end of it. I knew that right off the bat. And when I pulled the tether out, all I had was his life jacket.
Oh, no.
So he slipped out of his doggy
come out of
life
his
jacket.
life
Washed
jacket.
away.
Yeah.
So how did you get rescued?
Well, I had eventually an hour and a half after I lost him, I spent the next hour and a half in the bottom of the boat, curled up in the fetal position, crying why more than anything. I couldn't figure out why God decided to take my dog. But I finally was able to the storm finally stopped. And when the storm stopped, I was able to get to my phone and call 911 and the U.S. Coast Guard. And Venice came and got me. And at that point in time, I was telling them, just put me on your boat and let's go find my dog. And they wanted to try to save the boat too, so I had to stay on the boat and couldn't go look for him at that point in time. I had already gotten on the phone and called people. There was people on the beach looking for Harley at Venice Beach before the U.S. Coast Guard even got to my boat to get to me.
How did you find him?
He has a little thing called 24-hour Pet Watch, which I put on him 5 years ago, and it's the third time it saved him. The other 2 times it was in my own neighborhood where he got out of the fence. But this time they found him in the mangroves about 6 miles away.
What? 6 miles?
27 hours later.
Oh my gosh, you must have thought that you were never going to see him again.
I thought my dog was dead when I seen his little head disappear in the waves. As I watched him bob away. When I pulled him out, when I pulled the tether, I could see my dog's head.
Oh,
So he must have had to swim.
He was swimming towards the boat initially, really hard.
Right.
And then I seen this look of recognition on his face, like, yeah, I'm not going to make that. He literally turned and went the exact opposite direction. Now, me, I'm doing 360s at this point in time. I don't even know which way land is. I don't know if he's heading towards land or if he's heading towards sea.
Well,
I chalked him up as gone.
What was the reunion like when you two got back
Well,
together?
not actually what I expected, because usually when he sees me after being gone for more than 3 minutes, he's jumping up and down and all excited to see me. And we had the video out there watching when I got him back, and he ran up and gave me a lick or 2 on the face and ran to the front seat of the car.
Get me out of
Get
here.
me out of here.
Let's just go. There was no jumping, no laughter, no.
Oh,
let's
my.
go.
Well, you're going to rebuild your boat and head out again, right?
Well, I'm going to rebuild my boat, and I'm going to weekend sail for a while.
Good idea.
Maybe get a little more
Pretty
practice
days.
under my belt before I decide to go try that adventure again.
But what a great statement
Yes.
in terms of having your
Yes.
dog ID'd and or
Yes.
chipped or whatever you
Yeah,
have to
definitely
do.
have the chip. 'Cause
Keep
if,
your
if
dog
he hadn't had his
ID'd.
little collar on, that was the last.
Oh.
That was the last hope I had of anybody finding me.
I'm
that
buying
Well,
one
it is
right
a
now.
miracle. You are right. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Harley.